You're obviously not an American. We love to not think. But you know, I used to do a show called Politically Incorrect back in the 90s, and thank you. Oh, the 90s, we remember them. And so I was always asked, what is your definition of political correctness? And I had to come up with one. I said, it's the elevation of sensitivity over truth, which seems like what it still is, except it's worse than ever.
It's more like the elevation of moral posturing about sensitivity over truth. It's even worse.
Yeah. So where did it come from? How did we get to this place where we're so fragile? The safe space people.
Oh, I think that you can pretty much blame it on the universities. I think that they've pursued, especially in the humanities and in the social sciences as well, they've pursued a policy of a radical leftist policy with an overlay of postmodernism, which kind of a literary criticism approach that's produced all of this. As far as I can tell, I think you can lay a lot of it at the feet of faculties like the faculties of education. There was an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education this week that just devastated the faculties of education, taking them to task for low academic standards and for possession by ideology and for basically indoctrinating people in a cult-like manner and playing identity politics and group identity. And
Jordan Peterson and Bill Maher stride into the culture war like men with flamethrowers, and the first target in their sights is political correctness. They're entering a battlefield where emotional safety is treated like a sacred right. Disagreement feels like violence, and taking offense has become the highest moral ground. Peterson tears into academia, calling it a hollowed-out Schelling ideological echo chamber, masquerading as higher learning, hijacked by postmodern dogma. Maher, a rare liberal still swinging hard for free speech, fans the flames with sharp-tongued irreverence, because when being offended becomes a moral offense, truth is the first casualty. Here's the kicker. The audience is full of the very people they're calling out. The room buzzes with tension. Some lean in, others recoil. Minds might open, but egos, they're getting scorched.
But I mean, it's nasty, and she's they're considering suspending her. And here's what the president of the university said. He said this was beyond free speech. This was disrespectful. Have we lost the thread back to knowing what free speech is? Yes, it can be disrespectful. That is covered under free speech. President of Fresno, you idiot. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, and you see this too. I think where it's manifesting itself in a particularly appalling manner is in the increasing unwillingness of comedians, for example, to go on university campuses.
Peterson and Maher didn't show up to soothe anyone. They came to challenge their message. Cuts clean. If speech can't offend, it isn't free whites sanitized. They go after a new cultural orthodoxy, where discomfort is recast as harm, and criticism is instantly branded as hate. They offer a sharp reminder. The First Amendment protects you from government censorship, not from backlash online. Getting dragged on Twitter isn't oppression, it's democracy in action. Messy and loud. Peterson hammers universities for trading truth for therapy, calling modern campuses little more than 4-year emotional support sessions. The message lands like a warning shot. When fear of offense outweighs our hunger for truth, we're not building a freer world, we're building a brittle one.
This idea that's promoted by the people who are protecting those who are easily offended, that the way to make people secure is to protect them from things that they don't want to encounter. And there isn't a clinician, like I'm a trained clinical psychologist, and there isn't a clinician in the country who's worth his or her salt that would ever make that claim. Because you don't make people first of all, it's hard to make people safe because life is seriously not safe.
Yes.
And the way that you make people resilient is by exposing them to things that they're afraid of and that make them uncomfortable voluntarily, but you use exposure.
Right.
And and so, like, if you over coddle people, if you protect them from everything that's sharp, you make them dull and stupid and narcissistic, and it's a really bad idea.
So you do know him.
Safe spaces don't build. Resilience, they breed fragility. Peterson dismantles the myth that comfort equals safety. Real growth doesn't happen in padded rooms. It happens through friction, through challenge, disagreement, and even pain. But in a culture where every tough moment gets labeled as trauma, we're cultivating minds that shatter under stress. The outcome: a generation of hypersensitive adults who don't just dodge hard conversations, they want to shut them down. Peterson's message is blunt. Discomfort isn't the problem, it's the training ground. It's mental weightlifting, if you want to be strong. Stop running from the fire. Step into it.
Forward.
One thing I love, I mean, your book is fantastic, and one of the rules that I really love is you say, don't let your kids do anything that would make you not like them. That's what I've been thinking for years. When I call them the fuck you mom generation. When I see kids, never in life because I never go near a child, but like on TV and movies, I see kids like saying fuck you mom. And I'm like, if somebody who wasn't your child did that, you'd be immensely offended, whereas the parents just take it. What's up with that?
Well, people don't like to admit that they can dislike their children or children in general. And right.
No, I know what you mean.
But they can.
No, they totally can.
One of the things you see very commonly as a clinical psychologist is family members who hate each other and who it's like they have their hands around each other's necks for 20 years and are squeezing very slowly, trying to strangle each other. And you see parents who clearly detest their children and have ever since they were born. And part of that, I know it's a terrible way of looking at things, but it's true.
It's so true.
And one of the things,
No, parents confide that in me because I don't have kids.
Yeah, well...
Peterson doesn't pull punches. Raise competent, decent kids or watch the world devour them. He scorches the modern parenting trend that mistakes kindness for passivity, where being too mean is feared more than raising children who can't cope, won't listen, and struggle to function. Discipline isn't cruelty, it's protection. Boundaries aren't oppression, they're life skills. If parents don't teach them, the world will end. The world doesn't do gentle. Peterson's rule is blunt. Be the adult. Say no. Set limits. Enforce consequences. Parenting isn't about being liked. It's about preparing your child for a world that doesn't care how special they feel. Fail at that, and reality steps in with no mercy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.